India with 3 bronze medals. That's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing to have that.
Do they usually
imagine
win
if
medals?
our country was 6 times bigger and had 6 times as many people. You think we'd be having the same amount of medals?
I don't think they're as industrialized as you might think. I'm not sure if the vast population is really utilized for Olympic gold.
Yeah.
It's not that. So like
I don't think so. They should.
England colonized India and like just dominated that country. When India finally left, the leaders of the country were like, we're gonna engineer the fuck out of this shit. First of all, everybody learns English. English is the fucking 37 different weirdo languages we speak in India now. Those are all your second languages. Your first is India. Suck a dick. That's the rule. Also, you're all engineers and doctors. Fuck every other profession. This is India. We're going to focus on engineering and medical sciences. And here we are, like 50 years later. They're all engineers and doctors. None of them played sports. High schools don't even have sports. This is the culture that you get out of it.
Even engineers and doctors are just a teeny percentage of it. Like I feel like most Indians are like dirt poor, right? Like just living in the grossest city you've ever seen.
If you talk, at least in my experience, I've talked to a lot of Indians.
Zach, show us some filthy streets in India to hammer home these points we're making.
Is a huge national shame for them. Like I had a trip to India scheduled. I didn't end up going, but like I got pulled. It sucked. But anyway, they're like prepping me so I didn't judge them too hard on the poverty you see as the plane lands. Like there's you've seen Brazil where there's like a line between rich and poor. India has that as well. And they're like, oh, those they're called the Untouchables. It's the bulk of our population. We're working on it.
Yeah. And they are secret. They're not working on it.
That sign says Delhi Park.
Yeah. Welcome to the cleanest street in all of India.
Caste system that determined how you got into college and such, and they got rid of all that. Untouchables with good grades now have social mobility. Looks like a cow's body, right?
In the bottom center, it looks like a tiny child. Maybe with half its head submerged.
I see what
Probably
you're talking
not,
about.
though. I'm just looking for anything awful I can find. You know, this is dreadful, though.
Do you think they have like a superhero experience?
Oh, this is the worst.
It's not the Expendables, it's the Untouchables.
Dude, look at that dog shitting in the water.
And instead of 7 superheroes, they have like 10,000 people they don't care if they die.
Yeah, man, look at that. Look at that dog. Just
we're not done with them yet, are we? God damn it, Zach.
Zach, we need a whole collage. We need to experience this culture and marvel at it. Man, do they hate? Man, they love cows. They hate trash cans. Like what else can we do over there? I've never seen a group of people who's more comfortable throwing a plastic bottle in a river. Like, would you ever do that? If I saw someone at a public beach like throw a plastic bottle in the ocean in Florida, I and most normal people would be like, "Whoa, what are you doing, dude? Like, you can't
litter bug.
Throw garbage out here." Like, you guys are probably the same. If you're at the beach and like someone left a bottle cap or like something, you take that back with you. You know,
Taylor, here's the thing. In the river, yes. But when you're driving down the road, I feel like you should throw anything and everything out your window except for glass bottles. Now, hear me out here. Here in Georgia, they let the fellas out of the jails to clean that trash on the side of the road. And if everybody did as you would like and stopped throwing their garbage out the window, then those guys would have nothing to do out there on the rods. They wouldn't be able to enjoy the bright, sunny Georgia afternoon.
Wow. Is this like Kyle Myers I'm talking to, or Kai Rikram Mayarishalu that I am speaking with currently?
I just think throw your garbage out the window when you're driving down the road, because that'll get that work crew out there something to do, enjoying their day.
You know what happens if you encourage that? You get India.
You get more workers,
which is basically another India.
We're getting nowhere near that. Those people are so. I don't know how that happens. It's clearly cultural, but like the shitting in the streets thing, I can't remember this exact story, but it was something about a Canadian woman spotting an Indian person shitting in holes they were digging on like a public beach, and she didn't want to report them because it was an Indian person, and that made her, and that would be a bad look to like report an Indian for shitting in a hole.
All cultures are equal, Kyle. What? Get with it.
Yes, exactly equal. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what ethnicity someone is. If you see them pooping in the sand,
What about those
you got to
Haitian
call
cannibals?
a ranger.
What about those Haitian cannibals they caught trying to enter the United States illegally? Are they? Is their culture equally viable to ours?
I can see them on the internet looking at the most obese countries. Like, let's go to America. It's a cannibal's paradise.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. No, cannibalism is a storied tradition in Haiti. And so for you to question that is, I don't know, little bigoted.
Yeah.
I'm anti-cannibal. I always have been, and I'm not afraid to take that stance. I mean, I would eat a person if it was legal.
Kyle,
Like if they
away
put
the
person on the
cannibal
menu.
vote.
I would absolutely eat person. I wouldn't eat dog though. I'd feel bad for the dog, but I could eat a person.
I'd rather eat a dog because I'm pretty sure eating people you can get really fucked up diseases.
No, we can eat the brain matter. Like we're not eating like ground people. We're gonna have like a nice fillet of Peter, or like some fucking grilled Susan. Like this is gonna
it's been like 5-6 hours since I've eaten, maybe.
Yeah.
But
it's 5 p.m. and he had lunch on time. He's like, what have you got?
I had an early that Chipotle bowl. They shortchanged to me. You know?
I think it should be legal to eat people, and I think that you should be able to like donate your body not to science, but to culinary science, to like the rest. Imagine a restaurant like super trendy called the Cadaver or something, or the Morgue, and they serve people, and you'd have like a picture of the person on the wall, like this is Susan. She donated her body to culinary science.
It's called the Morgue. It's all in lowercase, the title font, and it's got an umlaut over the O, and it's like fancy.
An umlaut over the
I
O.
like that.
I like that too. Okay. We just got to get cannibalism legalized in Vegas, probably.
Most people are gonna hate it.
Yeah, that seems like
Vegas is probably
Vegas would be the place, or an Indian reservation. We could say it's part of their like cultural thing, and we'd have a chef who's like 1/8 Cherokee to like help us. You know,
man, isn't life crazy? The Indians here, the Feather Indians, absolutely hate litter. Don't care for it one bit. Makes them cry. The real Indians love litter. You show them a piece of litter and they're like, let's triple it, bud. And
you call that litter?
You call that litter?
I understand.
Relax and view the river of bodies.
My understanding is that Ganges River or whatever is sacred to them. Like it's not just like a big river. It's not the Mississippi. It's like a holy river. And that is the most filthy thing. Have you ever seen when it's all frothy and there's like 3 feet of foam, like a beer on top of where the water like takes a turn?
Is it salt water?
No.
It's hard to get fresh water to froth.
Yeah.
I saw a woman washing her clothes and like a dead body was floating by like 20 feet away.
Yes.
Like in the water.
And you judged her.
And you see one dead body, you know that wasn't the dead body of the day. Like there's a constant parade of those things going by. Yeah, they love litter. They hate. I can't imagine hating nature as much as India does. Like, they despise it. They see a fresh tree and they're like, no. Can you imagine if like you went to Vatican City and you're like, oh, why did they smear feces all over the pillars? Oh, they've ruined it. There's condom wrappers all over the ground.
I bet the Taj Mahal doesn't look like that. Zach, can you find pictures of the Taj Mahal looking trashy? Like a little sort of peel the curtain back a little bit. Like is the Taj Mahal? Because I know whenever I see pictures of the Great Pyramids of Giza, if you frame it just right, it's like, oh my God, look at this testament to time. But then you like turn the camera like 90 degrees and you see these slums and everything and just garbage, giant piles of plastic bottles. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, look at that bird. The trash bird.
Man, that trash is so old. Like this looks like an
AI. I've never seen plastic actually begin to decompose before.
It's been out for a while.
Oh, they can't have this in eyesight or eye line of the Taj Mahal. That's their big thing. That's their to-do. Their world wonder.
Burn it. Why don't they burn the trash for fuel or something?
Burn the trash for fuel.
I'm serious. I think I know there's major cities that do that. They burn the trash for fuel. I'm sure of it.
You know, what the fuck is going on in India? Why is there so much garbage? You can't assign like 1/10 of 1%. They take 1/10 of 1% of their population. It's like you're garbage men now. That's 20 million people. like what, you know,
The problem is they don't have any garbage men, like not a single one.
Do you see one trash can here?
Why is it?
I don't see any trash cans right here.
Checkmate.
Thanks. Something to take note of is like this isn't being used as real estate or being developed for a reason. There's just no money. Like they're next to the fucking Taj Mahal, and there's not room for like a Ben and Jerry's here.
Yeah. Would you eat Ben and Jerry's there?
I wouldn't. I feel like 2 steps in that wasteland would give me herpes. It looks horrific. Are these real? They almost look AI generated. It looks like a fucking video game.
Are they rebuilding part of it? I don't know. Yeah. The Taj Mahal looks really cool, and I've seen the pictures where it's clean and nice. Like maybe that's just from the front though. But
I mean, we've looked at it from 4 angles, and it's a wasteland, Taylor. I don't know where the road in is at this point.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no wonder.
Is that all water, I wonder? Like, was that water so dirty you couldn't tell if it was water or land anymore?
Yeah, it's just like a non-Newtonian fluid now.
But the garbage aside, the shitting is the most interesting thing to me about India is their fear of the toilet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't use toilet paper.
What? Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of countries use like a bidet, or they'll have what looks like a garden.
They're not using bidets.
Like attachment in there.
They're using their hand.
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know. I hope that culture's changed since I last worked in IT. But yeah, they just use their hand and wash it afterwards.
Nah, they wouldn't do that. That's abominable.
They wouldn't do that. That's disgusting. Yeah.
Well, you're not telling me the Indian people by and large wipe their dirty asses with their hand, are you?
It's part of their culture and it's beautiful, Kyle.
Jesus Christ. I imagine that they don't even they just like flick it at the wall.
You know what they do? They like find a beautiful they find a beautiful untouched flower and they go flick it at it and they go, how'd you escape the garbage tsunami, you bitch? We're shutting down we're shutting down nature.
I remember, Robin Quivers from
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Unlike Westerners, Indians use their hands and water to clean their bottoms. First, they touch the excreta with their fingers, and then they clean those fingers subsequently. At one level, this highlights the particular emphasis that the Indian psyche gives to the removal of impure bodies or substances from the bodies. My mistake. So yeah, they wipe their hands and then wash their hands. I wipe their hindies with their hands and then wash them.
And then
I always thought that I was being bigoted with my hatred for India and the idea of ever going there. And then I remember Robin Quivers from the Howard Stern show, who's a multimillionaire and a world traveler, talked about her trip to India, where I don't think she left the airport area. She went from the airport to the hotel and back to the airport and left. She's like, it's not going to work out, and just left.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Carl Pilkington going to India on an Idiot Abroad, and even he was like, this is disgusting. Like, this is so gross. Everything's gross. Well, that's what you get when you don't have trash cans and you're throwing garbage everywhere, and toilet paper hasn't caught on yet.
Yeah. I was thinking of like the worst parts of American cities. And I guess there are some real fucking wastelands to be had, but they're kind of isolated areas. India's a really big place. It seems like they're chill with those tigers, though. There's some weird statistic about how many Indians are killed every year to tiger attack. And it's such a huge number that you have to double check your math. And then you're like, yeah, 150 a year to tigers. Okay.
I think it's more tigers or elephants. What do you think has more kills in India?
100% tigers.
I know they have. You've told me about their tiger problems.
Like, I don't remember the numbers, but it was like hundreds of people who'd been killed by tigers in a year or two.
That's too many. There should be a solution to that.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't really have any predators here. Every now and then, some dummy in LA goes and gets bitten by a lion.
Between 2014 and 22, 500 people lost their lives to tiger attacks. On the other hand, more than 4,000 people have lost to elephants.
Holy shit!
Don't fuck with me on Indian trivia. I was raised by this culture. immense.
How can that be true? Why are they?
I was born in the filth of the Ganges. You merely adopted it. Hepatitis rolls off me like water off a duck.
do you feel less bad now or less angry now about all the phone scams and like the old people phone scams they do when you know that they go home to like a garbage pile like Oscar the Grouch?
Nah, they can both not scam old
angry.
people and throw their garbage in the trash can. They can do both.
No, they can't do either.
Man, wouldn't it, like, can you imagine still living in a country where like you're regularly losing to nature? Where it's like, oh, there was a wild elephant attack. What you guys do? We ran from the elephants. What else can you do? And it's like,
gotta round them all up. God damn!
I hid in my
back out of the cities.
I hid in the biggest garbage pile. Waited for the stampede to pass.
Do they just have wild elephants in rural areas and they kill country folk? Is that
and they don't fuck with their elephants or something, like they leave them alone.
Well, I mean, that's nice. I don't want the elephants to get fucked with, but it seems like they're a little aggressive. They're killing 4,000 people.
Dude, I'm just reading elephant stats. This one, it doesn't give a time period, but it's like India reported 2,829 human deaths from elephants, but they lost 528 elephants due to electrocution and train accidents.
What the fuck?
That's another thing. When the Indians aren't throwing their garbage away, they're grabbing telephone wires on the top of trains.
They're trying to get ripped up there doing
Vishal, what is your plan today? Oh, I don't know. Go down to the beach, shit and piss in it, throw away my Fanta bottle at the recently dead body, and then I don't know, go get trampled to death by a wild animal. The wild
telephone pole. The fact that you said there's like 500 elephant deaths to electric shock and train accident. I got to see these videos.
Don't you want to go to this country now? Come on.
I mean, shit, I kind of want to see an elephant get hit by a train if I'm being honest. Like, holy shit. I'm kind of picturing like a mean elephant and the train's like, choo, and the elephant's like, fuck you, and is like running down the tracks at the train.
Yeah. Like it's a urban river.
Yeah. Filthy.
And I mean, it's not, man, we spent a long time earlier talking about how gross India is, but can you imagine the Olympians swimming through the Ganges? You know what? That's actually the way India could get a gold. One guy emerges from the other
inoculation.
It was actually pretty nice today. I thought a competitor was cheating and I felt a hand on my ankle, but it was merely a dead body. Totally unrelated. Yeah.
I'm so upset by the filthiness of that whole country. Taylor sends me like pictures every day, the news stories every day about how filthy.
Up.
So true.
He's obsessed with it.
That would be what if that's the thing I was like really obsessed with? Like
hyperfixation.
My hyperfixation is like being mad at how mean India is to nature. It's like, oh, look at this. You know, maybe these elephants have a point with their stampedes and attacks. We learned before you got here, Caleb, that thousands of people in India are getting killed by tigers and elephants.
But mostly elephants.
Mostly elephants. And I was like, it blew my mind that like a major country like that, people are still losing nature battles. Like, when's the last time we had a loss to nature?
Maybe that's why they're polluting, right? That's how you win it against nature. You put
makes the elephants weaker.
Tires in the river.
So that's probably
we got guys out in Colorado using BJJ to choke out cougars. It's like a juvenile mountain lion that some guy killed with his bare hands. Pretty crazy.
That's awesome. Woody and I were looking at a story where two guys from a high school wrestling team took on a grizzly bear and like survived by beating it up together.
It was a tie.
Yeah, it's a tie. Yeah,
everyone survived.
Yeah.